So hey guys, this is John with Life of Pretty. Just want to touch base with you today a little bit about something that I love to talk about, and that's meditation. Meditation is something that Jeannie and I both do routinely, and if you're not familiar with it, I'm going to take care of explaining it to you so you have a little bit better understanding what it is. So before I forget, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Definitely want to keep you up to date with what's going on. You can probably see Pretty there kind of rolling back and forth in her own little meditation, I guess, and she's just having a blast. So the question is, what is meditation? Is it some new age religion, some crazy, insane thing that people have come up with? And simple fact of the matter is, there's actually cave art that actually depicts meditation practices. It goes all the way back beyond the days of Sanskrit and other dead languages. That's been around for a long time. And like with most things modern, it's one of the things that in more modern culture, especially Western culture, it's kind of been kicked to the side a little bit and not practiced nearly as much. But the fact of the matter is, the science is now starting to back up that meditation is actually one of the best things you can do for yourself. So if you haven't tried meditation, here's kind of what we're talking about. So meditation itself is really about just being able to let go of all the things going through your busy mind and your hectic schedule and just let them pass while you just focus and think about, well, nothing. So thinking about nothing is something that some of us are particularly good at, even when they're not meditating. Some of us, we have busy lives, and it's just really difficult to get those things out of our head and focus on the task at hand sometimes, or the overwhelming problems and situations that we face in life. And that's where meditation can really come in handy. Typically the recommendation when you start a meditation, whether it's through an app or even a breathing technique that I'll show you in just a moment, is typically try to start between 5 and 10 minutes. You'd be surprised when you start at how long just 5 minutes of quiet can actually be. And if you've got small kids, you probably don't even know what 5 minutes of quiet actually is. We have a bunch of dogs, a couple kids. You know, the opportunity to find peace and quiet sometimes can be a little bit of a challenge, but we make that time, and we do a mix of what's called a guided meditation and a non-guided meditation. If you're using a smartphone, there are some apps out there. Some are free, some are not. We use Insight Timer typically. There's a paid option, but we simply use the free option, and it's absolutely amazing. It has a great mix of guided meditations and just music you can meditate to. I think in the movie Iron Fist, he was actually meditating to a rap music, Outkast or something like that. If you ever watch that series on Netflix. So it really doesn't matter. It's whatever allows you to focus and calm your mind. So the question is, if you are religious, can you meditate? I look at it this way. If you're coming at it from a Christian perspective, you might look at meditation as being something Hindu or Buddhist, but Christians pray. We pray, right? Talk to God. And what do you do after you talk to God? The problem is most people talk to God and they go about in their own daily lives. And part of the way a conversation works is it's great to talk. It's great to talk. It's even better to listen. So sometimes when you take that amount of time, even after you've prayed, and just take a few minutes for you and let it kind of soak in, and you can absorb the answer from God, the universe, or whoever, whatever deity or non-deity that you worship. It's just an amazing thing to be able to do, and you would be surprised how much it can help you with stress relief, just being able to put yourself in the moment, focusing on what matters now. One of the big issues that people look at is the problems in their life, and there are past problems that we're still dealing with today. There's our worries for what's going to happen in the future, and sometimes just taking that few minutes and putting ourselves in the moment for right now, practicing what's called mindfulness. Mindfulness can make that huge difference because you're focusing only on what's inside you. So what's happened tomorrow hasn't happened yet. What's happened in the past, it's done. Take a few minutes and just listen to yourself. Give yourself some peace and quiet. The easiest way to do this, if you're not using an app, and there's no special equipment required, no lengthy commitments to sign up for anything, the easiest way to do it is just to focus on breathing. And you can focus on any number of things, by the way. Just the breath tends to be the most commonly used item out there that you'll typically find in any guided meditation is because it's something we all do. The first thing we do when we're born, we breathe. The last thing we do before we pass is we breathe. So it's easy to focus on that breath, and we typically tend to breathe somewhat consistent. You might breathe harder sometimes, you might breathe more shallow sometimes, but when you look at 10 breaths in a row, they're typically roughly the same speed. So one of the easiest things to do is just find a position where you can sit, you can kneel, you can sit cross-legged, you can lay down. There's Yoga Nidra and some other meditations are actually done laying down. They're like a sleeping meditation. So it doesn't really matter what position you're in, but get yourself in somewhere comfortable where you can actually sit there and relax and just be still for a little bit of time. You know, if you've got your spouse at home and you've got the kids going off somewhere, find a quiet place, let your spouse know, hey, I need to go take a few minutes for myself, and just go do it. You'd be surprised how much better you'll be for your family if you allow yourself the opportunity to do this. And when you go, get in a comfortable position. If you want some soft music or no music or whatever, country music, it doesn't really matter. Sit down and put something on and simply start to breathe. And focus on the breathing. Feel the breath as it comes into your body. Feel the breath as it goes out of your body. I've seen some people put their hands on their chest and their abdomen so they can feel the breath physically as it comes in and exits their body. You can even try taking a few deep breaths along the way if you really need to break up some stress, and then just go back to your normal breathing routine and just focus on it. Now here's the funny thing. Your mind is going to wander. There's just no way around it. That's what the mind does. It's going to bring thoughts of 100 different things. Some of it might be out of a little bit of a sense of boredom. Some of it might be the 1,000 things that you still have to get done by the end of the day today. And some might be, oh my gosh, I have no money, I have no food. Whatever it is that's going through there, it's going to come into your mind. Don't fight it. Let it come in. Let it go out. So I know there's a famous quote that says, you know, let your thoughts in and then let them go out. Don't serve them tea. Just an old quote. I actually have that referenced in the website under lifeofpretty.com under a mindfulness article. If you want to check that out, and I'll put a link to that in the YouTube comments as well. And I know that Jeannie just put in an amazing article that shows all the scientific benefits of mindfulness and meditation. And we both referenced some really good information that's definitely worth a look. But take a few minutes. Set a timer if you need to, just so you don't get overly distracted. Set your timer on your phone for 5-10 minutes and let it notify you when you're done. But sit there and just focus on the breathing. As the thoughts come in, let them go out. If you find yourself distracted, don't worry about it. Don't get upset. Just go back to focusing on your breathing. It's the best thing you can do, and you'll actually work wonders for yourself. When you're actually done meditating, when that timer goes off, you know, you can do this eyes closed, eyes open. It really doesn't matter. But if your eyes are closed, slowly open your eyes. Wiggle around a little bit. Just loosen things up. And just resume your day. And when you do this, what you'll find is if you're practicing gratitude, if you're just grateful for the things that happen in your life, if you're practicing some meditation, you're focusing on the joy of your self-love, what's inside of you, you're giving yourself that few minutes, your body's going to respond. You're going to find out you're going to be a happier person overall. It's an amazing thing to discover that even in all life stress, and we are a far more stressful civilization now than we were in years past, but the reality is when you take those few minutes for you, your body's going to thank you. You'll find that your stress levels go down, your overall joy levels go up, and that you're just in a much happier place. This works at work too, by the way. If you're stressed, you're working on the job, if you can even take just a couple minutes, relax, focus on your breath, you'll find out that you will find a little bit more joy and peace in what you're doing. And at the same time, if you're feeling any aggression and frustration, it actually helps to put those things in perspective. And sometimes when we listen to that little voice inside of us, we actually give it a few minutes, just a peace, breathing, that voice speaks to us. Whatever it is, if you believe it's God, the universe, whatever it is, that inner soul within yourself, you can find some of the answers you've been looking for. So many times what we're doing is we're asking the questions, how can I do this? How can I get out of this? And the answer comes along and we choose not to listen. We choose not to open our minds for a few minutes. Just give ourselves a little bit of time to be calm, to be in the moment, to listen. And then once we do those things, what we find is we find the answers that we're looking for, and we find ourselves to be just a much happier person overall, which benefits everybody around us that we interact with. So I appreciate you guys listening up. Don't forget, again, like and subscribe on the YouTube as well as lifeofpretty.com. Check out the website. I will drop a link, and we look forward to talking to you next time. All right, everyone, take care.